In the hidden enclaves of the Amish community, life unfolds according to an ancient script, untouched by the modern world's rapid pace. For Amish women, the rules they follow are more than just traditions. They are a way of life that seems almost unimaginable to the outside world. These rules, often cloaked in secrecy, dictate everything from the simplest daily habits to the most profound life choices. From strict prohibitions against modern conveniences to deeply ingrained gender roles, the life of an Amish woman is governed by a code that feels like stepping back in time. As you uncover these 22 bizarre and fascinating rules, you'll venture into a world where time stands still, and where the life of an Amish woman is shaped by customs that seem both strange and captivating. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and click the bell. 1. The ban on electricity and modern technology. For Amish women, life without electricity is not just a choice, it's a defining aspect of their identity and daily existence. Imagine a world where the hum of electrical appliances is replaced by the sound of nature and the rhythm of manual labor. The absence of electricity means that Amish women cook on wood stoves, light their homes with oil lamps, and wash clothes by hand or with non-electric washers. There are no televisions, computers, or smartphones, which many of us consider essential. This ban is rooted in a desire to remain separate from the world, to prevent the influence of external, modern ideas that might disrupt the Amish way of life. The rejection of technology also reinforces the community's values of self-reliance, hard work, and simplicity. 2. No higher education beyond the 8th grade. Education among the Amish is deliberately limited, particularly for girls, who are not permitted to study beyond the 8th grade. This restriction is based on the belief that further education could introduce ideas and values that conflict with the community's teachings. The Amish view higher education as unnecessary and even dangerous, fearing it could lead to pride, intellectualism, and a departure from their simple way of life. For Amish girls, school is a place where they learn the basics: reading, writing, arithmetic, and importantly, the values of hard work, humility, and obedience. After finishing their education around the age of 14, girls are expected to transition smoothly into their roles within the home. They learn the skills necessary for managing a household, such as cooking, sewing, and child rearing, tasks that will become their primary responsibilities as they grow older. 3. Strict gender roles. In the Amish community, gender roles are not just a societal norm, they are seen as divinely ordained. From a young age, Amish girls are taught that their primary roles in life are to be supportive wives and nurturing mothers. Unlike in mainstream society where gender roles are increasingly fluid, the Amish maintain a clear and unwavering division between the duties of men and women. Men are responsible for providing for the family, usually through farming, carpentry, or other manual labor. Women, on the other hand, are tasked with the care of the home, which includes everything from cooking and cleaning to child rearing and managing household finances. These roles are deeply ingrained in Amish culture and are seen as essential to maintaining the order and stability of the community. 4. Submissiveness in marriage. Marriage within the Amish community is not just a union of two individuals, but a partnership deeply rooted in religious beliefs and community expectations. Amish women are expected to be submissive to their husbands, following the biblical injunction that wives should submit to their husbands as the church submits to Christ. This concept of submission is central to the Amish understanding of marriage. It means that a wife is expected to support her husband's decisions without question, even when it comes to major life choices like finances, family planning, and where to live. In many ways, this submission is seen as an expression of love and faithfulness, as well as a demonstration of the woman's commitment to the community's values. 5. Arranged courtship. Courtship and marriage among the Amish are far removed from the romantic ideals often portrayed in modern culture. Instead of dating casually, Amish young people engage in a highly structured and community-oriented process of courtship. Courtship typically begins in late adolescence and is conducted through group activities and church events, where young people can get to know one another under the watchful eyes of their families and community members. Privacy during courtship is minimal, as the entire process is designed to ensure that relationships are built on shared values and community approval rather than mere personal attraction. 6. Prohibition of haircutting and cosmetic use. Amish women are forbidden from cutting their hair, which is seen as a symbol of their devotion to God and their role within the community. Long hair is considered a mark of femininity and submission, and women typically wear their hair pinned up in a bun or braid, covered by a bonnet or prayer cap. This practice is rooted in biblical teachings and reflects the Amish commitment to modesty and humility. Alongside the ban on haircutting, Amish women are also prohibited from using makeup, as it is considered vain and contrary to their values of simplicity. The rejection of cosmetics serves as a reminder that inner beauty and spiritual purity are far more important than outward appearances. This rule reinforces the Amish belief in living a life free from vanity and focused on faith and family. 7. Home births as a preferred practice. For Amish women, giving birth at home is not only a matter of tradition, but also a deeply held spiritual practice. Home births are preferred over hospital deliveries because they align with the community's values of simplicity and self-reliance. The process of childbirth is seen as a natural, God-given event that should occur in the familiar and sacred environment of the home, surrounded by family and often other women from the community who provide support. The decision to avoid hospitals also stems from a desire to limit exposure to modern medical interventions, which the Amish often view with suspicion. Instead, they rely on midwives and traditional practices, trusting in God's will for a safe delivery. This preference for home births highlights the Amish commitment to maintaining control over their lives and bodies, even in the face of modern advancements. 8. Avoidance of technology to preserve simplicity. Amish women, like the rest of their community, avoid using modern technologies such as computers, cell phones, and even household appliances like microwaves or washing machines. This avoidance is based on the belief that technology can lead to unnecessary complications, disrupt family life, and introduce unwanted influences from the outside world. By rejecting these conveniences, Amish women maintain a lifestyle that is centered around hard work, community, and faith. Tasks that might be easily accomplished with modern devices, such as cooking or laundry, require more time and effort, but this is seen as a positive, reinforcing the values of diligence and simplicity. The absence of technology also means that Amish women are less distracted and more focused on their responsibilities within the home, ensuring that family and faith remain the central pillars of their lives. 9. The use of faceless dolls. Amish children play with faceless dolls, a unique cultural artifact that reflects the community's emphasis on humility and equality. These dolls are deliberately made without facial features to avoid fostering vanity or pride, and to remind children that all people are equal in the eyes of God. The simplicity of these dolls also encourages children to use their imagination during play, rather than focusing on superficial aspects like appearance. For Amish girls, playing with faceless dolls is an early lesson in the values that will shape their lives: modesty, humility, and the importance of character over appearance. These dolls also serve as a symbol of the community's commitment to living simply and avoiding the trappings of modern consumer culture. 10. Limited educational opportunities. In the Amish community, education is highly valued but strictly limited. Girls, like boys, attend school only until the 8th grade, where they learn the basics of reading, writing, arithmetic, and Amish history and values. After this, their formal education ends, and they transition into learning practical skills within the home. This limited education is intended to prepare them for their future roles as wives and mothers, ensuring that they are well equipped to manage a household according to Amish traditions. The restriction on further education also reflects a desire to prevent exposure to ideas and values that might conflict with the community's beliefs. By keeping education within the community and focused on practical skills, the Amish maintain control over their culture and ensure that young women are fully integrated into their roles from an early age. (11) Gender roles and submission. In Amish culture, gender roles are strictly defined, and women are expected to submit to the authority of their husbands. This submission is based on biblical teachings that emphasize the husband as the head of the household and the wife as a supportive partner. Women's roles are centered around homemaking, child rearing, and supporting their husbands in their work, whether that's on the farm or in another family business. This division of labor is seen as divinely ordained, ensuring that the family operates smoothly and in accordance with God's will. The expectation of submission is deeply ingrained from a young age, with girls being taught to prioritize family, community, and faith above all else. While this may seem restrictive, many Amish women view their roles as vital to the stability and spiritual health of the family unit. 12. Childbirth and large families. Amish women are encouraged to have large families, often with 8 or more children. This practice is rooted in the community's belief in the sanctity of life and the importance of raising children within the faith. Large families are seen as a blessing from God, and each child is viewed as an opportunity to strengthen the community's future. The process of childbirth, as previously mentioned, often takes place at home, and the absence of modern contraception ensures that families continue to grow. Raising a large family requires immense dedication and hard work, but it also reinforces the community's values of cooperation and mutual support. Women are responsible for the upbringing and spiritual education of their children, teaching them the Amish way of life from an early age. This focus on large families helps to ensure the continuity of the Amish tradition across generations. 13. Plain dress and the ban on jewelry. Amish women wear plain, modest clothing, usually consisting of a long dress, apron, and cape, often in dark or muted colors. This plain dress serves as a visible expression of their faith and commitment to a life of humility and simplicity. The clothing is handmade, often by the women themselves, and is designed to avoid drawing attention or inspiring envy. Jewelry, including wedding rings, is strictly forbidden, as it is considered an adornment that promotes vanity and distracts from spiritual matters. The absence of jewelry also reinforces the idea that one's worth is not determined by material possessions, but by their relationship with God and their adherence to the community's values. The practice of plain dress and the ban on jewelry is a powerful reminder of the Amish commitment to living a life that is focused on faith, family, and community, rather than on individual expression or material wealth. 14. Obligation to attend church services. Church attendance is a fundamental aspect of Amish life, and women are expected to participate fully in all religious services and events. These services, held every other Sunday in rotating homes within the community, are an opportunity for communal worship, fellowship, and reaffirmation of the group's shared beliefs. Women play a crucial role in these gatherings, from preparing the home, to hosting the service, to ensuring that their children are well behaved and attentive during the lengthy sermons. The obligation to attend church services also extends to other religious observances, such as baptisms, weddings, and funerals, where women are expected to contribute through their presence and participation. This regular involvement in religious life helps to reinforce the spiritual foundation of the Amish community and ensures that faith remains at the center of daily life. 15. Strict adherence to modesty. Modesty is a cornerstone of Amish values, and women are expected to adhere to strict guidelines regarding their behavior, speech, and appearance. This emphasis on modesty is intended to protect women from the influences of the outside world and to maintain the purity of the community. Women are taught to be humble in their actions and interactions, avoiding any behavior that might be seen as boastful or attention-seeking. This includes speaking softly, avoiding eye contact with men outside their family, and dressing in a way that does not draw attention to their bodies. The practice of modesty extends beyond personal behavior to the home, where decorations are kept simple and possessions are limited to what is necessary for daily life. This commitment to modesty ensures that Amish women live in a manner that is consistent with their faith and the values of their community. 16. Social events as a form of courtship. In the Amish community, courtship and dating are approached very differently compared to mainstream society. Rather than private dates or romantic gestures, young Amish men and women participate in group social events, such as barn raisings, quilting bees, and church gatherings, where they can interact under the supervision of their families and the community. These events provide a setting where young people can get to know each other in a context that reinforces the values of modesty, respect, and community. Courtship courtship often begins with a young man asking permission to drive a young woman home after a church service or event, signaling his interest in pursuing a relationship. These relationships are expected to progress with the intention of marriage, and the couple's interactions are closely monitored to ensure that they adhere to the community's moral standards. This approach to courtship reflects the Amish commitment to preserving their cultural values and ensuring that marriages are built on shared faith and community ties. 17. Limited medical care and home remedies. Amish women, like the rest of their community, often rely on home remedies and natural treatments instead of seeking conventional medical care. This preference stems from a desire to maintain independence from the outside world and a belief in the sufficiency of God's provision. While Amish communities do not outright reject modern medicine, they are cautious about its use, especially when it involves surgeries, vaccinations, or other invasive procedures. Instead, they often turn to herbal remedies, chiropractic care, and traditional methods passed down through generations. This approach to healthcare reflects the broader Amish philosophy of self-sufficiency and distrust of external influences. In cases where medical intervention is necessary, such as in emergencies, the decision to seek outside help is made carefully, weighing the potential benefits against the risk of compromising their way of life. This cautious approach to healthcare ensures that Amish women remain connected to their traditional practices, while also acknowledging the limits of their own resources. 18. Expectation of silent endurance. Amish women are often expected to endure hardships and challenges silently, without complaint. This expectation is rooted in the community's emphasis on humility, submission, and the belief that suffering is a natural part of life that should be borne with grace. Whether facing physical labor, illness, or personal struggles, Amish women are taught to accept their circumstances as part of God's will and to find strength in their faith and the support of their community. This silent endurance is seen as a virtue, reflecting a deep trust in God's plan and a commitment to the well-being of the family and community. While this can lead to a culture of stoicism, where women may feel reluctant to express their pain or seek help, it also fosters a sense of resilience and inner strength that is highly valued in Amish society. 19. Obligation to participate in community work. Community work is an integral part of Amish life, and women are expected to contribute to the collective well-being through their labor and participation in communal activities. This can include tasks such as helping to prepare food for large gatherings, assisting with barn raisings, quilting, and supporting neighbors in times of need, such as during illness or after a death. The expectation to participate in community work reinforces the Amish values of mutual aid and interdependence, where each person's contributions are vital to the community's survival and success. For Amish women, this often means balancing their responsibilities at home with their obligations to the wider community, ensuring that they are always available to help where needed. This sense of duty to the community helps to strengthen social bonds and maintain the cohesion of the Amish way of life. 20. Prohibition of musical instruments. In Amish culture, the use of musical instruments is strictly forbidden. This prohibition extends to both public and private life, with the belief that instruments can foster pride and individualism, which are contrary to the values of humility and community unity. Instead of using instruments, Amish worship services and gatherings often include unaccompanied singing of hymns in the German language, emphasizing the collective rather than the individual. For Amish women, this means that musical expression is limited to vocal performances that align with their religious practices. 21. Limited interaction with outsiders. Amish women, like all members of the community, are encouraged to limit their interaction with non-Amish, often referred to as English, individuals. This practice is meant to preserve the integrity of their faith and cultural traditions by minimizing exposure to outside influences that could lead to assimilation or the erosion of their values. For Amish women, this means avoiding relationships, friendships, or social activities with outsiders, and instead focusing on their roles within the Amish community. 22. Emphasis on forgiveness and non-resistance. Amish women are taught to practice forgiveness and non-resistance, core principles of their Anabaptist faith. These values are deeply ingrained and are reflected in how conflicts are handled within the community. Rather than seeking retribution or holding grudges, Amish women are encouraged to forgive those who wrong them, trusting that God will ultimately bring justice. This principle of non-resistance extends to a refusal to engage in legal battles, military service, or any form of violence.